Everybody, Bob Messenger, editor and publisher of the Morning Cup, and welcome back to another edition of the BOBcast. First off, I want to talk about a product that was sent to me last week by a company called Heartland Fields in West Des Moines, Iowa. And basically what they do is they produce soy-based meals and entrees. And maybe a bunch of other products, but this is what they sent me. And they said, "Dear Bob, we'd love you to at least try it. We think we have a great product. We know your attitude about soy products, but give us a shot." So I did. They sent me a few meals, but the only one I've tried so far is this one. And it's their soy lasagna. And it has interesting little buzzwords on it, like 100% vegetarian, 0 grams trans fat, all natural, no artificial ingredients. Usually those types of words on the package, I'm fleeing out of the store. I don't want anything to do with them. My experience with soy products generally is all of those no's and everything else also means no flavor. But I was pleasantly surprised. This is not a bad product. They've masked the tofu flavor well. And the tofu, there's no big chunks of it. It just blends right in. So I really didn't get a sense that I was eating a tofu-based meal. So Heartland Fields, I am being extremely kind here today in saying that, I like this product. It says up here, healthy never tasted so good. And in my world, that's probably more right on than not. So I give them a lot of credit. I don't know if it's out there nationally, but I sure is in the Midwest. That being in West Des Moines. So, thanks guys. Thanks for sending this, and you just got a thumbs up from me. This is really a decent product. Something else I wanted to talk about. Where the heck is it? Oh, this research from Peter Rogers, a professor of biological psychology at the University of Bristol in England. And what he basically says is that it's a myth that a morning cup of coffee or tea makes you more alert. It's not true, he says. But you know what, Professor Rogers? Let me be really honest with you. While I appreciate the fact that you're out there and working hard on research like this, here's the bottom line. People don't really drink coffee, I don't believe, for energy. It's not what it's for. I think you're right. I think when people get up in the morning, they're at their peak energy already. It's the beginning of the day. They're not exhausted. They're feeling pretty good. So coffee or no coffee, it's their body is in A drive. But people drink coffee, me and tens of millions like me, because we like the flavor and the taste. Why did Starbucks survive and become as successful as it did? Because it had great tasting coffee. Now there are a lot of alternatives out there a lot of people think are better than Starbucks. But the point is, it's all about taste and flavor, and that's why just like beer drinkers love their beer and wine drinkers love their wine, because they like the tastes and flavor of these products. So I appreciate all the research, but in my world, do I like it? Do I enjoy the taste, the flavor, all of that? And when it comes to coffee, I do. So that research isn't that conclusion isn't scientific, but it works for me. Have you guys noticed McDonald's coming out with the new Angus third pounder? It's in test market in Southern California right now, and Angus burger, great. McDonald's trying to stay ahead of the curve, trying to be trendy. The problem is the $4 price tag. That is very un-McDonald's like, and this hamburger cannot look or taste anything like a Big Mac or a quarter pounder or whatever. This thing has to stand on its own. This has to be a luxury burger. So I haven't tasted it yet. To my knowledge, it's not in the Florida area, but I'll be looking forward to. But still, the idea of walking into McDonald's and paying $4 for a hamburger, well, $3.99, but still, that's $4 in my world. I'm going to take a wait and see on this. That's got to be a really great great burger. And if you guys have a comment that you want to make and you want me to read it here in the BOBcast, I do have an email set up just for the BOBcast called BOBcastMail@yahoo.com. So if you want me to answer a question about a trend or anything or respond to something I've talked about, feel free to use that email address, BOBcastMail@yahoo.com. Let me see what else I've got. Oh, yeah. There was research done at Stanford by Assistant Professor Christopher Gardner and his team in which they rated the different diets and chose Atkins as the #1 diet. You know, it doesn't matter. These diets are doomed to die anyway. A diet, there is no such thing as forever with a diet. They come in, they're a trend, they go out, they're a fad, and before you know it, everybody's forgotten about them. Atkins has hung on a little longer than most, but it's at the end of it, almost at the end of its journey. South Beach is starting to wane interest-wise. It's not about the diet. And I've talked to nutritionists and dietitians, and there wouldn't have to be diets. Excuse me. There wouldn't have to be diets. People just moderate what they eat. That's the diet people need to be on, the moderation diet. I don't know if there's a book about that, but you know, you guys can eat anything we want. Americans can basically eat anything they want. They just have to be disciplined about how much of it they eat. That's the problem in this country, and it's a sad one. But the word is moderate, and we're going to have to get these knuckleheads in this country to understand that you just can't fill your face and expect to be thin or healthy. You know, it's got to learn how to eat differently in this country. Before I go, I want to tell you about the diabetes workshop the Morning Cup is sponsoring on September 7th of this year at the Donald E. Stevens Conference Center in Rosemont, Illinois. You guys, I rounded up some great panelists because this is an all-day panel discussion with the panelists and the audience. Dr. Shelley Blanco of the Hartman Group, Dr. Bruce Hamaker, director of the Whistler Center for Carbohydrate Research at Purdue, Lou Cooperhouse, director of the Rutgers University Food Innovation Center, and I'm working on one more panelist. That's all it's going to be that day, is you being able to interact with them and find out what it is, learn about diabetes, the diabetic, and the kinds of products they want and how to talk to them. That's a 21 million consumers out there, you guys, and you need to be talking to them. So I hope you'll, check out the Morning Cup and go to the page that tells you about the workshop. Well, that's it for another week. I wish you a safe and prosperous and happy week, and I'll be back again next week. Until then, adios.